Happy video day, guys. Christina, Brooke here. So for today's video, we are jumping into the new Wild collection from Huda Beauty. So you guys know I did a whole Make Up Your Mind on this series, and I told you guys there was two palettes that really sparked my interest from the entire line. So I picked them both up. So the two palettes are Python and the other one is Jaguar. So these are the two that I thought from the entire collection were the most unique, the most different to my collection, and just something that I needed. So I decided to pick them up. We're gonna be testing them out for formula. I'm gonna be swatching them for you guys, doing two different eye looks, giving you guys all the information I possibly can. And then at the end of the video, I will also show you guys some comparisons and some ideas that I took from my Make Up Your Mind in case you guys are looking at this entire collection. There is two more palettes I did not pick up. Those at the end of the video, I will show you some similar palettes that I think if you have, you may decide you don't really need to add these. So the two I'm talking about are Tiger and Chameleon. So let's get into this video. We've got a lot to go over, but wait, if you have not done so already, please hit subscribe down there in order to become part of the family. I would love to see you again. I love creating makeup content as well as some fashion content, and I would love for you to see some of them, so subscribe. But anyways, let's get into this. Lots to go over, and let's start right now. All right, so before we start talking about these palettes, let me just quickly give you guys some details about the two that I picked up. So each one of them is retailing for $29 US. They are available right now at Sephora, and on the website they're described as a highly pigmented mini eyeshadow palette featuring 9 velvety complementary hues. So they're supposed to have very suede, soft mattes, complementary metallics that are foiled and sparkly. And then there's the never before seen formula that is the 3D multi-reflective, and it's the one that is embossed as a python, which is in the center of each one of the palettes. So that is a new formula to Huda's line. So they do describe some of the metallics as semi-sheer but with high impact, and then there's also the really strong foiled shade, which are those beautiful foiled metallics that Huda Beauty does so amazing. So these palettes have a very interesting array of different types of formulas and really cool shades. I have to say, very, very cool shades. Also, the compacts are her hard compacts. That's how she's been designing all of her mini palettes lately. Beautiful mirror. I love this packaging. I have said this a million times. I think Huda Beauty is one of the best brands in creating mini packagings. I think that these are awesome. The mirror is big. There is no space in between these shadows. It's like very compact but really well designed, and I love these compacts. So literally A+ when it comes to packaging. Also color curation. I really love the way Huda does her mini palettes. But of course, all that aside, we've got to know about the interior, because I will say Huda Beauty is one of those that lately some of her minis are hit or miss. I did not like her Neon Obsessions palettes. They were not my favorite. Her last Brown Obsessions were a little bit more on the sheerer side, like her metallics. None of them were very impactful. I personally did not mind that because I thought that they turned into my everyday kind of palettes, and I really actually enjoy them. But how did she do with her new Wild Obsessions? How are these compared to all the rest of them? I'm just gonna go out and say, hey guys, these are good. These are good. So if you're watching this video thinking, oh no, what is the end result going to be? Are these the lackluster minis? Are these good minis? These are good minis. These are very good formulas. I had a ball using them. And of course, guys, I did some swatches of the palette. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys Python. So this is the Python palette under Natural Daylight. So you guys can really get an idea of what these colors look like. And then let's go ahead and jump into the Jaguar palette. So this is what Jaguar palette looks like. These are under Natural Daylight, so you can really see the colors as well. And I think that they are both absolutely stunning, very, very pretty color stories. But let's get into some of the eye looks. First, let me show you guys how I created the look with Jaguar. This one I played with yesterday, created the coolest eye look. Let's jump into that right now. All right, guys, so first look is going to be Python. So we're gonna play with this one first, and then tomorrow I'm gonna film using the other one. So I'm gonna do a tutorial on each one of them, and you guys will see finished looks on each one. So let's go ahead and try Python out. I am going to grab this color right here, And I'm going to use that as a crease shade. I'm also going to bring that underneath. Let's grab a little bit of this lime color right here in the inner portion. Then, so far so good. The colors are working pretty good. This one right here, I wish was a little deeper. I think I just have to build it up. Yeah, if you build it up, you start to see a little bit more pigment. Kind of want to use this one and I want to use this one, so we're going to do both. Why not? We'll put the lighter green in the inner portion and the darker blue on the outer portion. So let's start off with this green. Oh wow, so that is like a very glittery shade. Very cool. And then let's grab this one right next door. And those two are both very glittery shades. I'm going to use my finger to bring up the vibrance. They're kind of like toppers, but they do have pigment. So that's pretty interesting. Very pretty. They kind of remind me of the Kaleidos palette even more now because they have like that similar characteristic. Why not? Let's grab some of the darker one because that one was kind of very light. So we'll get a little deeper as we get to the outer edge. And I am using my new Refer brushes. They actually sent me a bunch of them in PR. This is a 27S. So far, I like them a lot. They're really, really good. How cool is that? Super rainbowy and fun. So let's go ahead and deepen out the outer edge with some deeper brown. We want to add some dimension to this lid so it's not so like light. I want it a little darker. You guys know I like to do an outer V detail, but if you don't like to do that, you don't have to do this part. I'm also gonna follow along the top ridge so that I can add a little bit of definition. All right, let's grab this color. This is coming out really, really pretty. And I'm just gonna add this to the inner portion. See how much this, ooh, that's a nice little pop of gold right there. So to add a little bit of the green and the blue, I'm not gonna use the metallic-y shade. So what I'm gonna do is grab this one right here, and I'm gonna put this one closer to the outer portion. And then I'll grab this green here and bring that in the inner portion. I do like that she did that because you don't always want to use the metallics on the lower lash line. So I do like that she included mattes that are similar to the metallics so that you can add them on the lower lash line and just do a little bit more fun. And then I'm just going to tight line just a little bit with the brown. That brown worked awesome, like really good. All right, so let me go ahead and blend this out, put on mascara, do this eye, but look at that, guys. I really think that this is such an awesome palette right now. Like, I'm very impressed with the quality. Let's go ahead and do the other eye and I'll show you guys the final look. All right, guys, so we finished it off. This is the final look using the Python palette. And oh my goodness, I think that this look came out fabulous, but let me get into some more detailed thoughts right now. So tell me this is not a beauty, okay? So first thing, this shade right here took a little bit to build it up, but once it's built up, beautiful, performs really nice. This neon shade, out of this world, high impact right off first swipe. This brown, amazing, super blendable, deep, rich. I love this little shade in the center. So this new formula she came out with is just extremely cool. It's a little bit more sheer, but it still has pigment under it, but it has all of these beautiful reflective glitters that you don't feel. They're so tiny, so microscopic that you don't feel them. They're not uncomfortable. Kind of obsessed with this little formula right here. This color right here, super high impact, very blendable. Honestly, guys, though, in my opinion, this palette itself, none of the metallics are that super foiled metallic. In this palette, almost every single one of them, as you guys can see swatched right here, they are a little bit more sheer with a strong glittery base. So you're getting a lot of glitter, but you're not getting a super strong pigment. They do show up on the lid. You guys saw how I use this green and you do see it, but it's not like a super strong foil. I am gonna say I kind of like that because in my opinion, it made this palette just a tad bit more wearable for somebody like me because the foils, because they're not foiled and they're not so strong in color, I felt like they just gave you like a minimal reflective color of these really cool shades, but it wasn't like full on impact. I like that. I thought it was beautiful, but if you're somebody who really wants to do strong rainbowy eyes, you may think that some of these metallics are just a little bit too lackluster. I really, really like it, and I love the mattes in here. Kind of obsessed with this formula in the center. I really, really liked it. But that's not it. Today I went ahead and played with Jaguar, and I have to say, I think Jaguar is pretty phenomenal. This is a beauty of a palette. Let me go ahead and show you guys how I created this eye look, and we've got a lot to talk about with this one as well. All right, guys, so we are on to palette number 2. We're going to be playing with the Jaguar now from Huda. I don't know what I want to do with this look, but I am dying to play with this color right here, but I also want to do something a little smoky. So let's just start. I think what I'm going to do is start off with this color, kind of put that in the crease. Ooh, that's a little darker than I thought. Yeah, this is going to do like a really nice smoky effect, but I like this color. I'm going to grab this brown right here. Let's do kind of like a halo style eye. Wow, I'm going to say that this brown is blending beautifully. Nice. This is a really nice brown. I'm going to add a little bit more of the brown, and maybe I'll even put some of the black in, but we'll stay with the brown right now. I'm just using a Wayne Goss 27S. Wow, I really like that. I am dying to play with this color. I kind of want to put it in the center, but I also want to play with the gray. This is a very hard decision right now. I think I'm going to do both. This is for review purposes. I really want to do both. So let's start with this gray right here. Let's put that on the outer. Wow, that is cool. It's like a pewter gray, kind of amazing. Then I'm going to grab this one in the center, more sparkly purple. That's really pretty too. Oh, look how cool that looks. I'm going to build up the intensity. Wow, I think I really like this Jaguar palette. So what I'm going to do now is kind of just blend a little bit more. We're going to grab both of these colors deeper on the outer V, bringing it up a little bit and in the inner portion. All right, I am definitely liking this. So I'm going to go ahead and grab, what color? Let's grab this color right here, and then I think I'm going to also grab some of the gold. Let's bring this in the lower portion of the lid. Then I want to grab, like with a very small brush, I'm going to use my Refer 03 brush. I'm going to grab this gold. I'm going to bring that on the lower inner corner. That's so pretty. So much sparkle. Love a good sparkle. So now I'm just going to grab a little bit more of this color here, blend it on the top. That blends so well. Very, very good blend. Wow. Okay, so I'm actually really loving this. But it needs some liner, mascara, some finishing little touches, which I'm going to do while I tell you guys the details. And then I'll do this lid and I will get back to you guys with a final look. All right, and here is the final look using Jaguar. Tell me this isn't pretty. I'm kind of obsessed right now. Oh my God. Okay, so honestly, I look so amazing. This is that really cool, fun, smoky with a little bit of purple eye palette that I think is phenomenal. I love this one. The formulas of the metallics are a little stronger in this palette than Python, just because this one actually did give me a few foiled shades. Like, I feel like even all three down this line, look how impactful those are. You can just see that they have a real strong pigment compared to the ones that I swatched already from the other palette. A stronger foiled look. Like even this one that I used, look at this, look at that, look at that, look at that foil. Oh my goodness. This palette itself, oof, like that's the strongest one, but this palette itself has more of that original Huda Beauty strong like foiled shadow, but then it also gives you some of that really cool like glittery formula that's primarily in the Python one. So if you guys see this shade, this is like more of like that sheer base with all of the glitters in it. It's absolutely stunning. I'd use it right here and I love the impact that it gave. And the mattes in here are so blendable, such useful shades too. You got an awesome brown. It's kind of similar to the brown that you're getting in here. This one goes a little bit more plum. This one's a little bit more rich brown. You're getting this beautiful mauve shade, which is a true mauve. A little deeper than I thought it would be. I probably would have liked this one just a tad lighter, but that's okay. That's being super picky. Love that there's this peachy shade. Love the way peach and purple look together. So to me, that's a beautiful combination, and love that there's a black, because you can completely switch up this entire palette just doing a real black smoky lid using some of these silvers. You can play with the golds and the browns to do more neutral eyes, or you can go straight out purple with the browns and just create a super awesome brown purple smoky lid. I think this palette is phenomenal. I love this one. I think this is the strongest one out of the two that I picked up, especially color story and as well as formula. And this eye look is just kind of insane. I do think that this one has a stronger formula than this one. I wish this one, they would have given us some more of the foils. Like I think this one maybe needed just like one foil, like a real foil, like the strong foils in this one that I don't feel like I got any of them in here, but I do really like this palette. Now that being said, there is some similarities to this palette, and I told you guys this in my Make Up Your Mind, and I primarily picked this one up just to see, and it is kind of true, guys. So, guys had the palette from Kaleidos and Angelica Nickvist here on YouTube, then you probably had something very similar, and it is very similar. Like, they're not exact. You're not getting every single color, but I will say that you may be quite content just having one. And also the formulas are actually kind of the same as well. When it comes to those metallics, the metallics in the Kaleidos palette are very similar to the ones that you're getting in the Huda palette. They're sheer, they have a lot of glitter in them, they're beautiful. So these two palettes honestly may not be exactly the same, but they will create a very similar look. So if you invested in this one and you're looking at this one and you're not quite sure, this is already good enough. I don't really think you need it. Now, if you missed out on this palette and you want the next best thing, this is basically the next best thing. And of course, here are some of the swatches so you guys can see what I'm talking about, so you guys can see the similarities between the two. And I will be completely honest with you guys, when it came to Wild Python in my collection, there is no palette that I can say you get a majority of these colors. This is a unique color story for me. I looked at Leela, I looked at a lot of different palettes. So this one to me is the most unique, and also out of the two, the better formulas. And like I told you guys in Make Up Your Mind, I didn't pick up Tiger because in my opinion, I feel like it had a lot of similarities to the Natasha Denona Gold palette, and I'm okay with my gold palette. I also feel like the Tiger one has a lot more mustard in it, and I'm not a huge mustardy yellow girl, so I am better with the gold palette. Then when it came to Chameleon, this one I feel like looks so much like the Too Faced Pumpkin Spice. I showed you guys my swatches, comparing it to the swatches from Huda Beauty that she released of this palette, and I just felt like this one had so many similarities to the Too Faced Pumpkin Spice that there was no point in me picking up this mini. I love the pumpkin spice. It's a beautiful palette. I really enjoy using it. If you were looking at pumpkin spice and you really like that one and you didn't get your hands on it, then I would say Chameleon is probably your best bet in order to get something similar. But yeah, I think that's where I'm going to leave it. If you picked up either one, you're probably going to really like it. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks so much for watching. If you have not done so already, don't forget to go ahead and hit subscribe, join the family, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.